Prior to Kevin Rooney, there was a cap put on Mike Tyson's development as a fighter.
His story, a work in progress. The final acts are still being written.
He had to be ferocious. He went after Bobby. He was very strong. And Bobby had to open up to keep him in his place from overwhelming him. And Bobby said every time he hit me, he hurt me.
He was perfect. He was aggressive as hell.
And a change happened in Mike. Through boxing, he obviously became more proud of himself and sure of himself.
That's a good body right hand to the jaw.
That's somewhere I just like being. I like being sometimes a little arrogant, a little bit, not much, just a little bit, and, you know, a little spoiled. I like that. That's me, and it's always going to be me. I'm not going to try to change it for nobody.
Obviously a prodigy. It was like the first time I saw John Coltrane, or the first time I saw Bruce Springsteen, or the first time I read Norman Mailer, or the first time I saw Baryshnikov. It was clear this was somebody special.
Jim Mike fought like a wildcat, always, no matter who he was with. He would try to knock out anybody, no matter who it was. Mike used to knock out somebody every day of the week, sometimes two guys.
Good stretch, get a good stretch.
I believe that if you give him any kind of time, he's already been in the reformatory, if you let him run wild up in the Catskill area, Albany, so forth, he's going to get in trouble. We're not looking.
That's it.
Very good, very good.
Jimmy and Bill Caton knew what they were doing with Mike Tyson. And if they said, Kevin Rooney is your man, he's going to train you. Greatest trainer who has ever come into the sport of boxing.
You honestly believe now you're going to be the heavyweight champ, don't you?
Most definitely. Like, I know Tuesday follow Monday.
Got involved in the fighter's personal life.
Move your head, move your head. Move your head. Move your head, Mike. You gotta score points when you get into that. So score points like you're doing the amateur. See that? Tell me something, Gus. They close him so he can't uppercut. He was 13 and a half years old, I believe. We trained him steadily. When he got to the point of slipping punches, we had a difficult time getting people to box with him because he proved to be a very hard puncher with both hands. Move your head.
It's the little things, the discipline that, you know, that Cuss was instilling in him. You got to do this, you got to do this. Then come to the gym. Go home and go to bed.
His pro career in late '84, but he had hurt his finger in training one day. So Mike came into the city, and for 1 week, Mike stayed with
Keep the head down when you come up with the eights. Keep your head down. Yeah, I mean, it's not coming up, but it's starting to come up. You can make it perfect. It's good, but it's not perfect. I don't succeed when I make a guy or help a guy become champion of the world. I succeed when I make that fellow become champion of the world and independent of me.
Make sure you put down the next heavyweight champ.
Yeah.
And that's you.
Thank you.
We decided the time was at hand for the marketing of Mike with a technique that had never been used before. We prepared cassettes of all of Mike's fights and sent those cassettes with a covering letter to the top sports writers and top television personalities throughout the country.
People wouldn't want to be in my shoes. They really think so because they say, wow, I can make money, I can get rich, But if they had to go through some of the things I had to go through, I think they would cry. Sometimes it's so depressing. You got to go through. They always want something. They want to find a way to get your money. It's always people just as hard as you work in a gym. There's people working that hard to separate you from your money.
I don't really know if I want to sign this document because Bill would really know more about the business than Robin would add on. But Mike, your son, our son, Mike, your son. Now Mike is all kinds of screwed up. I better sign my son. I don't want to hurt my son. It was a brilliant move, brilliant by Robin, to get Mike to do whatever had to be done.
23戦目ウィリアム・ボスイ戦であります。これもニューヨーク。そしてこのジム風景なんですが、レポーターの小泉さんいろいろ説明してください。お願いします。
これグラマシージムっていうところでやってるんですが、はい、今タイソンはこれサウスポーでやってるんですね。小さい方がタイソンです。でなかなかスピードがありますね。
そして亡くなったカス・ダマトさん、
はい、これはタイソンのトレーナーでありマネージャーであり先生ですね。
昨年の11月にその恩師を肺炎で亡くしましたマイク・タイソンなんですが、はい、そしてこのトレーニングすごいですね。
これはですね、ニューヨーク市の郊外にあるそのキャットスキルトレーニングキャンプなんですね。ジャクソンって言われてる選手ですね。
恩師カス・ダマト、昨年11月に亡くしております。このタイソン黙祷して練習。
そうなんです。練習の最初はですね、その壁に貼ってある写真に黙祷してから練習を始めるんですね。
あれ、こういうこと
はい。タイソンがですね、我々スタッフに一緒に練習するかって声かけられたんで、よし、じゃあ一緒にやろうって言うんで、田中ディレクターと一緒にですね、動いたんですね。2時間びっちりやられましたね。
タイソンのトレーニング、練習の何かこう、大きな特徴といったようなものがありました？
非常にスピードを重視するタイプですね。ベンダーして、それからサイドステップ、そういう練習をよくやりますね。ヘビー級の割にはなかなかスピードがあります。
What does it take for a real knockout puncher to get the job done?
Well, there's certain kind of knockout punches. There's something, being a big man really doesn't matter. It has no significance in knocking out someone. The main point is the quickness and what you throw the punches and the leverage is what you have in the shoulder snap. And the object of really knocking out an individual is throwing a punch where he can't see. And when there's combination punches, and when you throw punches and you keep his mind preoccupied with the body punches, and the other two punches that come to the head are the knockout punches. And then again, there's one-punch knockout punches, which they throw one punch to the body, boom, boom, and then the other punch to the head, which again, the opponent's mind is so preoccupied on the one punch, which rattles him just a little bit, and that's when the other punch comes in.
Now, what I see in what you're saying is one, getting the shoulder in. A lot of fighters are arm punches. And secondly, the quickness so that the opponent doesn't see the punch, and that's what knocks him out. He's not prepared for it.
Absolutely.
Guided by the teachings of the master, Mike Tyson set about changing his life, and in time, the entire boxing world.
But you aim it here and bring the same hand. When he gets here, his liable to bring it down. Even if he's got his liable, bring down, bang, over here. Bang, with the left hook here or here. And you get hit, bang, you get excited, and your head comes up your hands. When you get hit, that's when you got to be calm. You got to be clever, you got to be smart, and not get hit. And when you're able to do this, you're a fighter.
What was right and what was wrong. On his way to an amateur record.
I was running a gym in Catskill with Customano. I was doing the training.
They wanted him active and in the gym, either training all the time or going into the ring to fight was that I think...
And Mike wasn't afraid of anybody. Carstead immediately spotted him as a future world champ. Tyson turned pro at 18 and knocked down whoever stood in front of him.
Boxer. He could jab, he could move.
He had a style that was created that made him exceptionally elusive and exceptionally difficult to hit. So that if you threw a punch, not only did you miss, but you were punished for even throwing a punch.
But I used to see him in the gym, knocking people out, knocking guys out. Bah!
They started bringing in professional fighters for Mike to spar with. That was the only way you could really get a chance to test all of this mechanism that was going on.
Here, Mike is 14 years old, and I'm 25. Thought I was the man. I learned the hard way with Mike. Once that bell rang, it was time to go to war.
And the way to get experience in boxing.
Be champ of the world someday. Just keep your mind where it's supposed to be.
Each week I teach him something new. First week I teach him how to slip punch. Second week I teach him how to weave hooks. Each time he come back, you could see he learned real fast because he was interested.
Straight over, nice and straight.
You could punch him because now you had the ability to be a world champion fighter. And Cus was playing a dangerous game, I thought.
And the knockouts continue.